Next up, we have Chris Swanson. Let's hear it for Chris.
Nah, you told me not to.
Sorry guys, sometimes I get pretty athletic on here. Sorry, that was weird. Sometimes I have to clear my throat a little bit. Facebook, huh? You guys on Facebook's crazy. Are you guys on the Facebook? Nah. I'm just kidding. I don't care. A lot of like 40-year-old women have been like looking at like checking me out lately. Can anybody speak? Is that like a thing now? Is there something going on? Does anybody know about that? If any of you were 40-year-old women, would you look at me?
No.
Okay. I mean, I'm doing research. I'm here for myself as much as you, so. Are cigarettes getting like really expensive? I saw a guy like picking up used ones off the ground. He didn't appreciate the question as much as, well actually it was about the same. So I saw this pregnant woman smoking. And I usually don't get involved, but I'm a pretty good guy, so, so I thought it would be good for me to say something, and I was like, hey, I see that you have a baby in there, like you probably should not smoke. And she was like, oh no, it's not my baby, I'm the surrogate. Well played. So that's the last time I could. Just be careful, you might see somebody doing it. It's pretty good excuse. Actually, I told that joke to some guy not too long ago, and he was like, don't quit your day job. And I was like, I don't have a job, you stupid idiot. But, no, actually, I used to have a job, but I don't really know how to, like, blend in, right? This girl, like, she walks into the office, it was like an office setting, and she was like, I'm so sick, I feel so sick, everyone look at me. So I was like, alright, I gotta put her in her place a little bit. I was like, maybe you're pregnant. And she was like, that's not funny. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not joking. Like, that's like a sign of being pregnant. Just being sick. So anyway, obviously that went over terribly. So anyway, but then this other girl in the office caught me staring at her breasts. Did I just say breasts? Is that the right word? I feel like if you're being perverted, maybe that's the wrong word. I'll work on that. But anyway, so she caught me looking at them, and so now like every, when I was there, she used to like, she would see me coming down the hall and be like, and kind of like cover them up as she saw me walking towards her. And she would sort of give me that smile like, I saw you that one day. She's like, yeah, not as much as I did, or whatever. So anyway, but then, so a couple weeks after that, this girl came up to me and she was like, hey, Kevin told me that you think I look like a porn star? And I was like, oh, no, like, I did not say that. What I said was, I wish you were a porn star. So then, then obviously I just quit the job. So here's a fun one. Do you guys remember in 8th grade when that gun came out that could shrink animals? Well, actually, this joke might not work. Maybe we weren't all in the same grade at the same time. But just know we had a pretty good time with that gun. If you guys know what I'm talking about. So, I'm actually, I'm in art school right now, which, you know, it was tough to blend in. I remember the first day I sat down and I was wearing ladies' deodorant. And I said, hey, you know, I sat next to this guy and I was like, hey, I apologize in advance if I smell a little fruity. I had to use girls' deodorant today. And he was like, I always use girls' deodorant. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, well, listen, what I meant by fruity was like, it actually does smell like fruit. I didn't mean like gay. And he was like, I'm not gay. And I was like, oh, God. That's just can't be true. So you know how when you go to the store to pick up some lubrication, because your girlfriend promises she'll try it one time, but then like you realize she's full of shit, so you have a full bottle of lube, and then after a couple weeks she's like, hey, what happened to all the lube? And you're like, maybe the lid was loose when we put it in the drawer. And she's like, I think you're lying. And you're like, well, yeah, but this whole thing started because you lied and said you would try something new. And then she's like, I don't think this is gonna work out. You guys know when all that stuff I just said? I think that girls stand up for the wrong things a lot. Like, they don't always have to prove to us anything, really. Like, this one girl was like, oh, you know, I don't swallow. I just don't. I think it's gross, I just don't do it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, that's very reasonable. I think it's pretty gross. And she was like, no, you're not listening. Like, I just don't. Do you guys know what I mean by swallow? I did this joke at elementary school, and they were like, boo! Swallowing's not funny at all. So, anyway, you know, shit. I'm out of jokes. I should have told you guys that was going to be my big finisher, so you could pretend like it was funny. Well, funnier. Relax. Anyway, also, I'll take any special requests. Who's there?
Give me a knock.
Oh, what is it? Asian joke. I think it's kind of racist to say that all Asians have small penises, because some of them are girls. That worked out well. Anyway, thank you guys very much. My name is Chris Swanson.